Welcome again to our friends and students to Alpha G channel. So what we are trying to do is to look for a way to simplify some O-level mathematics to a level that you can easily understand it. So today we have decided to look at arithmetic progression. This is another topic in mathematics that I see people complain about. So we have decided that we are going to treat it today. So pay attention, we'll do everything within our power to simplify it in a way that you will get it, right? Alright, so now straight to the topic for today, arithmetic progression. Now, the first thing you need to do is to understand this. It's not all the sequence that you have that will give you an arithmetic progression. So how do we classify a sequence to be in an arithmetic order? We classify it if that sequence has a constant difference between one term and the other. For example, now you have first term, you have second term, you have third term, for example. Now, if the difference between the second term and the third term is the same thing as the difference between the third term and the second term, and is equal to or the same as the difference between the fourth term and the third term, that sequence is in arithmetic order. So that is how to classify a sequence to be in a particular in an arithmetic order. So you need to understand this very well. So it's not all the sequence that will definitely give you an arithmetic order. For example, if I write something like this, the first term, let's say 1, followed by 5, followed by 8, followed by 21. This is not in arithmetic order, because the difference between 5 and the second term and the first term is not the same thing as this third term and the second term, and it's not the same thing as what the fourth term and the third term. So this is not in arithmetic order. So for it to be in arithmetic order, it must be 2 followed by 4 followed by 6, yes, so followed by 8, for example. So you discover that 8 minus 6 is 2. This minus this is 2. This minus this is 2. AP. So this one is in arithmetic order. So you must understand this, right? So this one is not in arithmetic order, because if you do this, it's different from this, and it's different from just like that, and this is different from this. Did you get it now? Alright. So this is how to classify, to know whether a sequence is in arithmetic order or not. So this one is in arithmetic order, while this one is not. So take note of the difference. So quickly, let's look at the nth term. So sorry, because of time, I will not be able to show you how to derive the formula, the nth term of an AP. It is very simple to derive, but because of time and the examples that we are going to solve today, we will not go in the process of defining the AP, right? So now the nth term of an AP. The nth term of an AP. The nth term of an AP. The nth term. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d. Now this is the formula for finding the nth term of an AP. If you cannot be able to memorize it, for those of you that will be writing WAEC, it's inside your log table. Yes, I'm 100% sure you can find it there. So this formula is inside your log table, and you are free to use it, right? So now let's define all the terms that we have. This Tn represents the nth term. A represents first term. N represents number of terms. D represents the common difference. That means the difference between one term and the other. Common difference. Common difference. So now this is equal to if you have the second term minus the first one, or the third one minus the second one, or the fourth one minus the third one. So just like that, like that, like that. So if you follow this particular, you can say in general terms, it is Tn minus Tn minus 1. So that is in general form. So this is the order of the common difference. Please, you need to understand this. Take your time to master this, to understand it's very important. Now, another thing I'm going to emphasize on is how to generate the terms. How do you generate the what? The terms. For example, now let's say first term, which is T1. First term. So this is first term. Remember we say A is our first term. So first term, let me write it like this. First term. T1 is equal to A. Second term. Second term. T2 is equal to A plus D. Okay, now let me show you how we generate this. Okay, let me extend it first. Now, third term. In short form, T3 is A plus 2D. A plus 2D. Fourth is A plus 3D. Fifth A plus 4D. How are we generating it? And before I continue, let me show you how we generate it. We say that the nth term is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D. Now, T1, which is the first term, anywhere you see n, put 1. Anywhere you see n, you put 1. Anywhere you see n, put 1. So if we do that, we have A plus 1 minus 1 times D, which is equal to A plus 0 times D. So which is equal to A. You see, that's how we obtain this. Now, our n for the second term we change to 2. It means that wherever you see n, put 2. So if we do that, we have A plus 2 minus 1 times D. That is A plus 1D. That is AD. So T3 means A plus 3 minus 1 times D, which is equal to A plus 2D. So this is how we were able to generate all this. So look at it very well. This is how we are able to what? Generate everything that we have here. Understood? Now, I'm going to clean this one and start. Now, if you follow this pattern, you discover that the 20th term, T20 is equal to A plus 20 minus 1 times D, which is equal to A plus 19D. Can you see it now? So this thing is very important because you encounter some questions that they will tell you if the fifth term is twice the eighth term, what do you do? So all you need to do is to know how to generate these terms. How to generate it. If they say 80th term, what is the 80th term? 80th term should be A plus 79D. 150 term, 120 term. So you must know how to generate it from this. So please take your time, take note of this, jot it down somewhere. This thing governs everything. Every problem you are going to encounter under AP and GP has been summarized here. It governs everything. So if you can be able to master this, I don't think there's any problem you will not be able to solve. So every problem you have under AP revolves around this. Your ability to know that 20th term is A plus 19D solves your problem. Quote me anywhere. You can use it to solve any problem. Right? So let's proceed without wasting time. So I'm going to clean. I want to leave this. I'm going to clean this part. Is there any other thing we need to define here? I don't think so. We have defined everything. Right? So let's look at our first example on this. Alright. Alright, so this is our first example that we are going to look at today. Our example 1. They say if the AP is given by 3, 6, 9, 12, find its common difference, 12th term and 15th term. This one is very simple. So it's a solution. Based on our definition of common difference, let's look at question 1. Now let's list the sequence first. So we have 3, 6, 9, and what? 12. So automatically, the first number you have there is the first term, followed by the second one, which is the second term, followed by the second one, which is the third term, and followed by the fourth one, which is what? The fourth term. Can you see it? So this sequence, this is the order of the sequence. The first term, the second term, the third term, and the fourth term. Okay, now the formula for finding common difference, we said that you can use any one. D, common difference. D is equal to, you can pick any particular one. You can pick T3 minus T2, or you can pick T4 minus T3. You still get the same thing. Or you can even pick, okay, let's pick this and this. So let's pick T3 minus T2. You will still get the same answer. So what is our third term here? 9. Minus, what is our second term? 6. 9 minus 6 will give us 3. So this is our common difference. Very simple. So I'm going to clean this part now. I hope you are taking note of this. Now the next thing we are going to look at is the 12th term. 12th term. T12 means the 12th term. And T12 is A plus 12 minus 1 times D. So T12 is A plus 11D. Right? So what is our first term? The first number that we have here, 3. 11 times our common difference D, 3. So this will be 3 plus 33, which is equal to 36. So that's our 12th term. The next one, they say we should find the 15th term. So T15 is equal to A plus N minus 1 times D. So this is A, our N is 15. So this is, I think it's better this way. Okay, let's leave this one like this. Alright, so this is 15 minus 1 times D. So this is 3 plus 14D. Let us follow it like this. So this is 3 plus 14 times 3. So this will give us 3 plus 3 times 4, 12. 3 times 1, 3 plus, put down to carry 1, 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So this is 45. Alright, that is for example 1. Alright, so we are still going to solve the next one. So I hope there is nothing too difficult here. So this is the order it's supposed to go, right? So let's look at the second one. Alright, this is our second example that we are going to look at today. Right? Now, I want you to get something clear here. They said that the fourth term of an AP is 13, while the 10th term is 32, right? Find the first term, the common difference, the 20th term, and the AP. That means the sequence. Alright? Okay, now, what we are going to look at is, let's define this. So whenever you see a problem like this, take your time to define this, and define this as well. So these are the two things. If you're able to define it correctly, problem solved. So solution. Now go back to the introduction of the topic. You discover that we define how to find fourth term, fifth term. So they say fourth term, T4. which is equal to, okay, let's look at the nth term first. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d, right? So now T4, which is the fourth term, or let me write it like this, fourth term, T4 is equal to, wherever you see 4n here, put what? 4. So this will be a plus 4 minus 1 times d. So this is equal to a plus 3d. T4. Now, you go back to the equation again. We have defined 4 term. You go back to the equation again. What is T4? T4 is 13. So you are going to remove this T4 and replace it with 13. So we have 13 is equal to a plus 3d. You can call this equation 1. So first statement gave us equation 1. So let's look at the second one. They said that the 10th term, so we need to define this. So 10th term, which is T10, will be equal to a plus 10 minus 1 times d, which is equal to a plus 9d. Can you see it? Now from the equation, they said that the 10th term is 32. So you are going to remove this 10th term, you are going to remove this one and replace it with what? 32. Can you see it? So that is all. So you can call this one your equation 2. Now when you have two unknowns, the only way you can find it is simultaneous equation. So we are going to use the simultaneous equation to find A and D. So let's bring the two equations together. So if we do that, we have 13 is equal to A plus 3D. 32 is equal to A plus 9D. Okay, I want to rearrange this so that the one higher will be up. So I want to bring this one down. So this is 13 is equal to A plus 3. This is 9D, sorry, so this is 3D. So I will remove this one. So I just brought the two equations together so that we can solve them simultaneously. So let's see what we have here. So now, we are going to subtract equation 1. I'm using elimination method. Some people prefer substitution method, but I like elimination method. So if we subtract the two equations, we are subtracting. So we subtract, so this is 12 minus 3, we have 9. So this one we have 2 left here, that is 19. 19, right? So this one will give us a minus a, 0. So we have eliminated a. 9 minus 3 will give us what? 6. D. So I just want to confirm if it's correct. This is 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it's correct. Alright, so this is what we have. So D is equal to 19 over 6. So D is equal to what? 19 over 6. Now, we can substitute D into either equation 1 or equation 2 to find A. Remember they said we to find the first term and the common difference. The first term and the common difference. So let's see. Let's find the first term. So we can use any equation here. So let's use this one. Let's use the equation 1. So we have 13 is equal to A plus 3. D is 19 over 6. So we have 19 over 6, right? So say 13 is equal to A, 3 into itself 1, into this we have 2. So A plus 19 over 2. So this implies that A is equal to 13 minus 19 over 2. So this will give us 26 minus 19 over 2. So 26 minus 19 will give us what? 7, right? So let me see. 19, 7, yes, over 2. So A is equal to 7 over 2. So we have answered this question and this one. So they said we should find the 20th term and the AP. So the 20th term and the what? AP. So let's go back to this. I don't want, okay, we can clean this side. We can clean this side. So the 20th term, 20th means T20. That is, we are looking at question C now. 20th term, T20 is equal to A plus 19D. A plus 19D, right? So A plus 19D. So this will give us what's our A? 7 over 2 plus, what is our 19 plus D, which is what? 19 over 6. 19 over 6. Can you see it? So all we just need to do is to simplify the fraction and get the answer. So simplify the fraction now. This one will give us 3, 6, 1 over 6. Okay, so plus 3, 6, 1 over 6. And this one will give us 7 over what? 2, right? Okay. So we are still looking for the 20th term. So therefore T20 will give us 403 over 6. I don't know if it's correct, but I think so. 403 over 6. So this is the 20th term. T20, 403 over 6. Now for the AP, D. So I will give you this one to try and see whether you can get it. So for the AP, you have just to find the T1, the T2, the T3, the T4, T5, dot. So that is all they mean by the AP. So all you just need to do is to use the same method to save time to find the first term. We have already obtained the first term, so all you just need to do is to use it to find the second term, the third term, the fourth term. You can stop at the fourth term, you can stop at the fifth term, and so on and so forth. So that is all we need to do. We move to the last example for today. I hope you enjoyed the class. So we move to the last example. Okay, this will be our last example for today. So we are going to look at, I know some of you may have encountered a problem like this. It's just very simple. All you just need to do is to look at the way they define the AP and see what you can obtain from that. So whenever you have a sequence in arithmetic order, all you need to do is the first one is your first term, the second one is your second term, the third one is your third term, and the fourth one is your fourth term. Right? So solution, let's just go straight to solve this problem without wasting time. So we have so let's look at the sequence again. We have 3, x, y, and what? 18. Right? So all you need to do is define them. So the first one is your first term, the second one is your second term, the third one is your third term, and the fourth one is your fourth term. Now, so you need to consider the ones that you know their values. The first term, you know the value of the first term, and the fourth term, you know the value of your fourth term. So you are going to pay attention to this and to this. So and use it to obtain the unknown. So that is how to go about it. So let's look at it again. So we said the nth term, Tn, of an AP is A plus n minus 1 times D. So this is the nth term of an AP, giving us what? A plus n minus 1 times D. So the first term, T1, is equal to A. So it implies that A is equal to 3. The fourth term, T4, is equal to A plus 3D, right? I hope you still remember this. So from the equation, they said that T4 is 18 and is equal to A plus what? 3D. Can you see it? Now we know the value of A. So from here, let's call this one maybe equation 1 and call this one equation 2. So from our equation 1, we can easily see that A1 is 3. So we are going to substitute this A1 into this. So if we do that, we have 18 is equal to A, which is 3, plus 3D, right? So 18 minus 3 is equal to 3D. Therefore, 15 is equal to 3D, and D is equal to 15 over 3, which is what? 5. So we have answered okay, we have not answered the question yet. Okay, so we have obtained the common difference. Now let's go back. They said we should find the value of what? X and what? Y. So remember from the definition here, T2, T3 is X and Y. So let's look at T2. T2 is equal to A plus D. T3 is equal to A plus 2D. So from T2, T2 is what? X. So you can say X is equal to A plus D. So what is our A? Our A is what? 3, and our D is what? 5. So X is equal to 8. Right? So let's look at 3D. Our third term is Y. So you can say Y is equal to A plus 2D. So our A is 3, our D is 5. So this is equal to 3 plus 10, which is what? 13. So Y is equal to 13. So we have answered it, right? Alright, so that is our X and the what? And our Y. So they said the last question said we should find the sum of the second and the third term. So very simple. So the sum of the second and the third term. So what is the second term? This is our second term, this is our term. So sum of second and third term is equal to X plus what? Y, which is equal to 5 plus, no, not 5, what is it? Okay, 8 plus 13. 8 plus 13. So this will give us 21. I hope it's correct. 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 21. All right. So that is all. I hope we have been able to simplify arithmetic and geometric progression. Please always remember to subscribe to our channel and feel free to suggest any topic that is giving you a problem. You can suggest it on our comment section and remember to click that like button. Thank you and see you in our next lesson. Our next lesson will be paying attention to geometric progression. All right, bye.